They are pretty when they change color, and they are nice to kick around when they're on the ground. But these leaves and the trees they come from provide more than just aesthetic value. Their economic, environmental, and social benefits can literally bring life to a city. But that benefit is not spread evenly across Calgary. So why are some neighborhoods greener than others, and what are the benefits brought to those who live there? Gonna chill while it's nice and warm.
Yeah, this development, what I want to call it, is one of the best when it comes to trees.
Councillor Raj Dhaliwal is showing me around Taradale in his ward. He says the neighborhood, which was developed over the last 20 years, was settled mostly by newcomers.
So you will have grandparents living in a house, and for them, sometimes their only source of entertainment and recreation and fitness is walk. Sun is baking on them. There is no tree for them to take a shade.
Ward 5 has the highest percentage of people of color, and it skews lower income. It also has the least amount of tree canopy of any ward, just 1.29%.
So if I'm calling it best, you can imagine what other neighborhoods are looking like.
Citywide, Calgary's goal is to have 16% canopy. That's a measure of the percentage of land covered by trees, their branches, and leaves. But it's a place of haves and have-nots. Only the west exceeds that goal, while the center, northwest, and south hit above 10%. Then the east, north, southeast, and northeast, they have less than 5. That translates into some residents feeling the inequity.
I live in the northeast. In our area, we don't have that this kind of trees, but not like this place.
Like in Martindale and also like other places, it could just use some more trees.
I think they put in these small trees now. You know, they give you 2 with the cut, you know, the cookie cutter kind of lots you get now.
Advocates, including the city, say trees provide social, environmental, and economic benefits. They provide shade in the summer, wind cover in the winter. They collect rainwater and reduce runoff from storms. They provide habitat for wildlife, and they're a carbon sink.
We've also got economic benefits and increasing research on some of the social benefits, such as increasing healing and recovery after an operation or surgery in hospitals.
But not everything grows here. Snow timbers are a thing some years, and while you think a deep freeze might be bad for trees, the freeze-thaw cycles of the Chinook winds can be worse.
They can break dormancy, and so they can almost trick trees into thinking it's an early spring, and that causes significant dieback.
But that's only part of the story. Some of the leafiest areas were once prairie as well, and it's not like that anymore thanks to visionary planners of a century ago.
It was all like Nose Hill at that time.
That's Bev Sandalak. She says today's treeless, wind-swept neighborhoods are the result of cumulative design decisions, and they just don't build the city like they used to.
Anything within that inner ring, it's usually a grid pattern of streets. They usually have treed boulevards on either side of the street, and that was the practice from Calgary's beginnings up until around the end of World War II.
In the newest neighborhoods, boulevards and sidewalks gave way to driveways and underground services.
And obviously no room to plant trees.
In the post-war period, boulevards were eliminated, but alleyways remained, and the city required developers to plant more trees. So, Sandalak says, tree cover tends to have grown into a canopy there. The data shows they also vary in income and demographic makeup. But if you want to find the biggest differences, go to the extremes.
Head over to the wealthiest neighborhoods in the city and you'll find the vast majority of people are native English speakers. The median incomes are around $80,000 per year, and the tree cover, 17 to 32%. Now, if you compare that to Saddle Ridge in the Northeast, you've got the vast majority of people are non-native English speakers, 80%. Then the median incomes are around $30,000 per year, and the tree cover, less than 2%.
It's not acceptable.
Dhaliwal says the inequity makes his constituents feel left behind.
This is the perception they have, is that it's a consciously done because sometimes it's assumed these are a bunch of newcomers, immigrants, and they're just happy to be here. In a way, it's an environmental injustice and racism that is happening to people who are living here. Biopic communities, low-income communities, yes, we don't need to do this for them. That's the perception they have. This is a stigma they live, that they get treated second class here.
Calgary is compensating for the inequity, planting 6,000 trees annually, with another 1,000 this year to replace trees damaged in the 2020 hailstorm. But
Calgary is not aiming high enough with its urban canopy goal of 16%. 20% is the minimum, and 20% is even low.
residents can help out by giving any trees they may have on their property a good water before the winter freeze kicks in. In the spring, the city offers the Branching Out program, where they will drop off a new seedling for residents to plant.
As the old saying goes, like a tree planted yesterday is better than tomorrow.
Rob Easton, CBC News, Calgary.